Wow, that did not shuffle. Hello. Let's see if I can do this. Kinda. So I just realized that I haven't gone live. Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I haven't gone live on this channel. I've been live on the other channel. I'm using the Clarity Tarot that I purchased while I'm here because I didn't travel with the deck this time. I kind of want an Oracle deck. Actually, well, I'll be leaving in a few days because I think we'll be heading back to the area where I bought this deck. And if we're going to be there, I might as well pick up an Oracle deck. But now I'm like, I mean, I'll be going home in less than a week, so maybe not. But anyway, the message has been fairly consistent on the other channel. So I was curious to see if the same consistency would follow through over here. Seven of Cups with the star at the cut. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to break the cards. These are very like pliable. Two of Cups, Seven of Cups. There we go. All right, what are we going to do? Let's just do a Celtic cross. Why not? I'll give it a few more shuffles. Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Ten of Wands, Justice. See, I saw this Ten of Wands card last night. And for some reason, immediately her expression, because like there's the sun in the back, it gave me this feeling of like burdens that we gladly bear. Or like good problems to have, things that we take on gladly. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, it feels like the Seven of Wands is defending a future. This honestly feels a little bit like a selection process. Like it feels like the Seven of Wands is in a position to judge these people that we don't even see based off of sort of like their merit. The star, yeah, it was the Seven of Cups and the star. The star is number 17. Here's the Star of Wands. And then flanking that on the outside, it's Justice and the Ten of Pentacles. Something rightfully deserved. It's like for the person that never complains, or for the person that doesn't do this, or for the person that doesn't do that. Almost like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Lover's at the bottom of the deck. Definitely carrying through that energy of somebody's watching. Let's see. I'm going to put these back. I'm going to give these one more shuffle. There's the sun. I put, yeah, the Ten of Wands on top of the sun. Two of Wands is behind it. Excuse me. I'm not supposed to open mouth yawn anymore. I forgot. My mom's not going to see that, so it doesn't matter. The Lovers in the Tower, 6 and 16. They don't have numbers in this deck. I guess they don't necessarily need numbers. The Fool and the Lovers. After the Tower, the Fool. It's almost like the Fool is sitting in the wreckage of something, but looking forward. It could be the end of a grieving process. And then there's that King of Swords that finished off the fog reading earlier, still with the lovers. Interesting. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and a cut. So current energy, Six of Wands. Love it. Bottom of the deck as the adjacent energy is the Nine of Pentacles. Below is the King of Cups. The past is Temperance. Above is the King of Wands. I love that we have King of Cups, Temperance, King of Wands. Near future is the Chariot. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Temperance is the balance. Temperance is the balance of elements. It's balancing water and fire. King of Cups and the King, it's like above and below King of Wands, King of Cups. In the past was the Temperance sort of balancing of these two. In the future is moving these forces forward. What? What? This is gorgeous and powerful. You slash us, Page of Wands, the environment, Nine of Wands, hopes and fears, Seven of Swords, and then I don't like outcomes. So what is this? Maybe just like a trajectory. Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands made an appearance recently too. Bottom of the deck is the Star. So that Star of Wands that we had earlier, with the page, if you add the ace to either the 6 or the 9, you'll get the 7 and the 10. I mean, altogether, though, the King and the Queen of Wands are here as well. I would assume that if we have this Page of Wands, because of how everything is working in the heart of the Celtic cross, we would also be the Page of Cups. So I'm going to find the Page of Cups and then pull the 3 after to match up with this Page of Wands. And I'm just going to pull the cards after it. I'm not going to do before and after. Oh, there's the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups was this far from the bottom of the deck. Not very far at all. So here's our Page of Cups. And I'll go them down. Page of Cups. After the page is the Knight of Cups. That would be the other side of the environment. Other side of hopes and fears is the Five of Swords. And then the other like trajectory is the Nine of Swords. Bottom of the deck after that, or the card after that now, is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords came out in the reading I did, what day before yesterday? The Prudence, the allegory of Prudence. And it was like the only zodiac energy that was there. I mean, in this one, there's what? Scorpio, Leo, Aries, Pisces, and then Gemini at the bottom. There's no Earth here. There's no Earth anywhere. Oh, yeah, there is. Nine of Pentacles as this adjacent energy. So in the past was the balancing of forces that led us to be, it's almost like considerate of ourselves and considerate of others, both in terms of emotion and desire. It's like I know what I want. I'm conscious of what other people want. I know how I feel. I'm conscious of how other people feel. And it feels like somewhere in that is an inability to compromise one for the other. See, this energy has been around where it's like because it's harmonious to everything, it can move forward unfettered. With this chariot, it's like as long as that internal balance, as long as that internal tempering is consistent, this chariot can go anywhere and it can do anything. Hopes and fears is the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, which is the Justice. No, it's the Hanged Man of Swords. Let's see. Let's add all the stuff up. So we have the Hermit of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. We have the 6 plus the 9 plus 1, 2, 3. We have the 3, 6, 9 of Wands, three court cards, plus the 6 plus the 9. That's the Moon, right? 3, 6, 9, 9, 9, 18. So the Moon of Wands. We have the 7 plus 5 plus 9. 7 and 5 is 12, 21. The World of Swords. And the Empress of Cups, between the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Only Court Cups energy. So in the Suit of Wands, we have the Page, the Queen, and the King. In the Suit of Cups, we have the Page, the Knight, and the King. Interesting. So what was it? The World of Swords, the Hermit of Pentacles, the Moon of Wands, and the Empress of Cups. With an Empress of Cups, it's like this emotional stability internally that creates this really beautiful presence in the world that nurtures and gives and enriches others. With the Moon of Wands, I don't, it might be like undiscovered desires, which would be really nice. It feels like it would be really nice because it's like there are things that we love to do, people that we love too, that we haven't discovered yet or that we haven't met yet. It makes me think of Lucifer when God made maize a drink. And God was like, I made your favorite drink. And Maze was like, that's not my favorite drink. And I think he was like, not yet, or something like that. And then she tried it and she was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's like spirit knows what we love and what we will love. More than that, though, we're on a path to finding it. But that's what the Moon of Wands feels like. It can also be things that like unspoken desires, and they don't necessarily have to be of a devious nature. It's just like things that we want to do that we haven't necessarily told anyone about. Like there are some things that I would like to do in my career. And at the end of last year, more so at the beginning of this year, there are some things that I am desiring that I haven't necessarily spoken on. Um, Partially because there are choices and decisions that I have to make. If I do one thing, I can't necessarily do another, right? Also, partially because there are many ways to get where I want to go. And I'm open to letting the universe assist me in deciding which path I take to get there. Just like things that I want out of my life, more so like professionally and stuff like that. And that I have talked about. And then we have the World of Swords. The World of Swords is interesting because it feels like it can either be our world view or it can be us coming into seeing the world in a completely different way. Putting all of those together, leading with the Moon of Wands, it's discovering deep passions or discovering like sources of abundant creative energy. But it feels like a vessel for our creative energy, discovering a vessel for our creative energies to flow into, putting us in this space where, because there is so much like solar, like sun happy, because everything is almost changing so much, it expands our worldview while at the same time we start to feel a way about ourselves and other people that's a lot deeper and a lot richer. But then we have that Hermit of Pentacles. The Hermit of Pentacles might be an energy where it can't necessarily share everything because there are some things for us to discover. Or the Hermit of Pentacles can be like, it can be a sage. It can come into this, it can find itself in a place that is so high vibrational and light emotionally, mentally, and in the sharing of that, that it like rides this wave and experience that is like different than the life it knew before. And it's like, it's one of those things that it's like easier said than done. But once you learn how to do it, it's as simply done as said. But it's not until you like learn to do it that you can see how easy it is. So the future is definitely going to be a time to put everything that we've learned up until this point to good use. I think it's also not a time to be comfortable because of the Six of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. It's almost like that will happen. We don't have to seek it. And it's interesting because with what was it? The Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, Ten of Wands, and Justice. It felt like that. Seven of Wands, Ten of Wands was like watching us while we work, while we live our lives. And it's like deciding who to give that Ten of Pentacles energy to, or who to welcome into that Ten of Pentacles energy. Like it feels like that's the sort of recognition here. But it's like what we built, what we achieved, what we accomplished with our own resources and our own knowing and our own understanding and our journeys up to this point. Maybe that's the Hermit of Pentacles. It's like looking at us as individuals. So it is to be this deeply connected, very radiant, magnetic being, both in, it's like it makes me think of the Sage of Souls and the Sage of Essences. Um, and in that, this would be the Hermit of Realms, the World of Zones, the Moon of Souls, and the Empress of Essences. The Moon of Souls would be aspects that we've yet to discover that are now going to be coming into the light. The Empress of Essences, it's like it's this energy that's like the authenticity of one inspires the authenticity of another. But it's authenticity and like joyous expression. Um, the World of Zones feels like, just like with the Hermit of Pentacles, how the Hermit of Pentacles was like understanding that our experience in life is a lot more than just circumstances. There's also this internal element that we bring to life that is met externally. Like the World of Zones is almost being able to see on a field of like how everything affects an experience in reality and being able to see multiple experiences. And then the Hermit of Realms, because the World of Zones is like this more complete understanding of what establishes the realm of potential in a certain area. The Hermit of Realms is like becoming very knowledgeable and aware of how those potentials manifest. But again, moving forward, and she's dressed like, who is she dressed like? Is she just like Justice in other decks? Trying to think of like the purple cloak with like the red, orange. I don't have another deck. It's either like Justice or the High Priestess, I think has a similar color scheme. But it's being given the keys to sort of like ride and the keys to drive. Now we're sitting at the Page of Wands. More of the emphasis on is on the Page of Wands because that's the card that came out. But because of Temperance and the Chariot, we know that the elements of water and fire, at the very least, are not separate. Um, and so while we are the Page of Pentacles, we are simultaneously the Page of Cups. But the difference between these two is that the Page of Pentacles is more focused on the outward, the Page of Cups is more focused on the inward, like gazing into their own cup. And because they are so in their own cup, what they extend outward sort of aligns, but the focus is primarily internally. They're the dolphins from the Seven of Cups card. The Page of Wands is like looking outside, almost looking for the manifestation of the thing that this is calling in. The environment is the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Oh, I just caught that. You being the page environment, or wands, wands, you and the environment, cups, cups, you and the environment. There's a harmonious energy, a harmonizing factor between you and the environment. And it's not necessarily in the way of becoming a product of your environment. It's because of everything before. Like we are in a space of aligning the environment to who we are. With this Nine of Wands card, there might be, it is a little bit of the Knight of Pentacles energy, Knight of Wands, sorry, because it feels like it's moving. It feels like this Nine of Wands is symbolizing her not trying to find, her journeying, finding the place where she can plant that wand, where she can plant that ace. Looking for the thing outside that matches the inside and living life along the way. And on the other side, it's the Knight of Cups. So it's not just her in like this observer mode. With the Knight of Cups, she is like actually engaging in the environment and testing where that alignment is. It's like living life. Because I think sometimes it can be easy when we're looking for a certain thing to be a little detached and to just observe from a distance and be like, is this what I want? Is this not what I want? Without really like being in the moment, being in the experience. That Knight of Cups is in the experience. The Knight of Cups participates. Hopes and fears is the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. Are these all of the swords cards? No, because there's more on the other side. And it's interesting because 2, 4, 5 in the Seven of Swords, 5 swords are being taken. And then here's the Five of Swords. They're being like moved or relocated. So maybe in the hopes and fears, it's like there is something that we want. There are places that we want to go, but things that we don't necessarily want to let go of. Or it's just this aspect of not knowing where we're going. And then the trajectory, on one side, it's the Queen of Wands. On the other side, it's the Nine of Swords. This Nine of Swords, though, feels different. This Nine of Swords, it feels like things that we know we shouldn't engage with. So, like, there's this whole world outside of this door that's blocked by these swords. It's like it's something that we know isn't good for us or something that we know we shouldn't participate in. And then the Queen of Wands is on the other side. Also, we see the 2, 4, 5 birds. Is that a bird? Yeah. The last one's looking a little suspect. That could be an onion that's starting to sprout. We see the 5 birds on the line. almost again alluding to that Five of Swords. Um, the Queen of Wands is an Aries energy. So it's like cardinal fire. And so she is in the process of creating that experience. And maybe it's like what you don't find you can create. Almost a little bit of a be the change you wish to see in the world, but it's more so this energy of like, if there's something that you want that you can't find, create it, start it, and others will come. I think that's also a part of the Nine of Wands, Knight of Cups sort of energy of going out and exploring. Because it's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel if the wheel already exists. Sometimes you just got to go out, broaden your horizons, expand a little bit, and you'll find the wheel like 2 blocks down, 2 countries over, whatever. If it really doesn't exist, then invent it, create it. If you find one, maybe there's something that you can improve upon. But maybe it's like throughout this process, it's like don't think of what you've lost. Think of what you have already gained and what you have to gain. Put your focus there. And it's not that we don't mourn and we don't grieve the things that we lose. It's that we don't get overwhelmed by it or consumed by it. Because we've already proved to ourselves that we deserve better and that we're worth more. It's almost like it's an energy that can't settle. Because once you know, you know, you know. So I'm going to get a final card. This was gorgeous. This was a beautiful. Because once you know, you know, you know. Yeah, once you know, you know, you know. I'm putting these cards back. Loving the shorter videos. I say as this is like 32 minutes. They're relatively shorter. The Five of Pentacles with the Five of Swords at the cup. Four of Swords with the Five of Pentacles at the cut. That was a good one. I'll try to show you. Watch this. High Priestess with the Four of Swords. Loving how that's moving. All right, final card, final card. Boo-doo-doo, 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 doo-doo-doo. Oh. Oh, gosh. Nine of Wands, the Tower. I saw the High Priestess flip over. The Star. The World. It wasn't the High Priestess, it was the Star. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. So the Tower, Nine of Wands, the Star, the World. It feels like this tower is something caused by the Nine of Wands. It's almost like when this Ace of Wands is removed, these 8 wands fall apart. And then we have the Star in the World. This feels like something that almost became a prison. Almost like it's this reason and season, something that wasn't necessarily for a lifetime, or its current life is over, but it might have a new life. It feels like when we get into it, it's something that we're really excited about, and it's something that makes a lot of sense. But over time, it becomes almost a chore in a way. But it's just that, like, we know that we're meant to go elsewhere. And when we leave, something falls apart. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's destroyed, but it's like it goes through a reorganization almost process where it learns to function without you. And it feels like the longer you overstay your welcome in a certain situation, the more dependent upon your presence it becomes. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to see it all the way through to the end. Like, it makes me think of people that love working in startups. And so they'll like work in a startup until it's on its feet and it's moving until it's set up. And then they'll leave and they'll go work on another startup. For the people who are in that startup, it's like, here's this indispensable person that helped you turn your dream into a reality, who helped you scale up and build out and establish yourself. And so there is that attachment there. There is that, like, you've been so fundamental in our success, like, stay. But it's not for them. They're like, I'm off to find my other startup because there are more people like you who need somebody like me. And if I were to stay here, where would they be? You know? Just like I was there for you. It's for me to be there for someone else. There's a very nomadic, like hermit type of energy. It's a hermit. It feels like a hierophant, but it's like it travels, so it's not established. Like, it doesn't have the establishment of the hierophant, but it feels like a hierophantic energy. And then we have the star in the world. Is this the same woman? So after this, she reaches a point. It feels like this is a what's next. It feels like this star is a completion point. And then what's next is something, it's almost like out of this world. Or that's what it feels like. Because it's like it's something completely new or different. But with the Ace of Cups at the bottom, Ace of Cups, Three of Wands, there's this energy. It's like sometimes the heart leads, sometimes the spirit leads, sometimes the mind leads, sometimes the body leads. It was the spirit that led away from the tower. It was the spirit that reached almost like a completion point. Now it's the heart that's going to lead it. Well, there's the Eight of Swords. Well, maybe it's something that, yeah, because again, it's like it's this out of this world energy. It feels like something that we never would have thought of. And maybe there were reasons why we never would have thought of it. But it's like now the heart is going to lead somewhere. It's like the spirit took us to this precipice. Now the heart is going to drive from here. And it's not a versus, it's not anything like that. It's just, again, it feels like that's that King of Cups, King of Wands energy. Because for me, and I'm still decoding the differences between the essence and the soul. But it's like the soul is us in our totality. The essence is our understanding of that, or our knowledge of it, or it's the parts of ourselves that we employ and embody. And so it's like something is revealed within the soul. We take it in to our essence. And as we take that into our essence, something more is revealed and illuminated within the soul. And then we take that new part in. So it's like this soul leading the essence, leading the soul type of energy, you know? And also, too, it's like with the essence, it's the pieces that are like relevant are the pieces that we need in our lives or at a certain point within our lives, almost like the relevant bits. So, anyway, this is very interesting, especially like coming off of the last one with the water go fall. There was something about like the energy above and the energy below, and the energy below was matching the energy above. So now the above can sprout in the below. I'm pretty sure that was the last reading I did on this channel. And now it was this, like with the recognition and the accomplishment and achievement with the temperance in the past, balancing out these higher and lower forces in the now, moving us forward. Masterful work, dear. It's masterful work. So, with all that being said, I hope you have an amazing whatever. Whenever you see this, I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And until next time, um, be good and be good at it. I don't know.